Okay, so I do apologize for being so late. Having, just been kind of tired with school and college and everything, and I'm just kind of, kind of tired and stuff, exhausted from doing college work and everything. Time change. So usually, and pretty sure the United States is one of the very few countries that actually does, time change and stuff. So now I used to stream at 7 p.m. is when 0000 UTC is. Now that's gonna be 6 p.m. So it really throws everything off. Because Texas and most of all the states in the United States does time change. We fall backward in November and spring forward in March or April. I don't remember exactly when. So that's why this is gonna be a little bit more different. For most people, the time will literally be the same, but for me, I'll be literally streaming an hour earlier for myself, because now UTC 000 UTC is now at 6 p.m. Central Time instead of 7 p.m. As you can see there in the bottom right hand corner of your screen, it literally says 00:51, so 51 minutes past. I'm like, oh, okay, 51 minutes. Oh wait, no, yeah, because it's not even 7. It's 6:53 or 6:51, 6:52, whatever. And it's a whole hour, and so you have to go back again, and it's a whole thing. So that's that. Right now we're not seeing any kind of tropical activity going on here in the North Atlantic at all whatsoever. But again, we are going to be, as you see, there's nothing going on in the North Atlantic or the East Pacific, but we did have a system make landfall a few days ago in southern portions of India, which we did not cover because, college is very, very difficult. Okay, the work they give you is not difficult, but just, you gotta, stay on time, and it's just a whole thing, and it can just, and then, it's like, well, I want to relax, so, SpaceX had a rocket launch online, I want to watch that instead of doing a stream. Yeah, I know, not the smartest of me, but I'm being honest. If we go to the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, I'll show you the new system that we're watching here. Invest 92B, as you can see it right there. We're watching Invest 92B, which is area disturbed weather there in the Bay of Bengal. Nothing in the southern Indian Ocean or the South Pacific Ocean or in the Australian region. For the next several days, in the next week and a half or so, we could be watching a system making its way towards the Australian region. If that does occur, we'll definitely give tropical updates the best that we can on any tropical systems that make its way towards the Australian region. So again, this is, let me just slide this over here. But once again, I do apologize again about being late. I'm gonna, so instead of my streams, I have a stream at, let's say, instead of doing 7 a.m. streams, I'll now have to do streams at 6 in the morning, because that is when the tropical weather update is at. It's kind of bad for me, because I'm like, I gotta literally wake up at 5 a.m. to start to set up. So, yeah. And then by 6 a.m. I'll be live, my time. It's just, I hate time change. It sucks. It's really rough. But none of that matters. What we need to talk about right now. So again, here is Invest 92B. Also, okay, and it's not working. It's just fine. I do want to get, I want to try to get, see if I can get, PowerPoint, and then I can really click through the slides and talk about every little thing instead of having to, keep coming to the computer to change the website. Instead, click through the slides. I think that's going to be a little easier and a little bit more professional. So I can just sit here and click through the slides and talk about what we have up here, which in my opinion would be a lot easier. For me, anyway. So again, 15-knot winds, that's about 20 mile-per-hour sustained winds. That's not applicable. Minimum central pressure is 1,009 millibars. Again, the lower that air pressure goes, I need to move my green screen because it's moving around a little bit. The lower that air pressure is, alright, the lower that air pressure is, the better, the stronger those winds are going to be. So, and just so you have an understanding, some of the lowest air pressure recorded in any tropical cyclone was 870 millibars, recorded in Typhoon Tip in 1979. And so, the average air pressure at sea level is 1,013.25 millibars. That just sort of gives you an idea of what we're looking at here. 1,013 millibars. Right now it's at 1,009 millibars, and we're seeing the lowest air pressure recorded confirmed. Others are saying high on had an air pressure of 865 and 860, but it has not been actually confirmed by the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, by any meteorological organization, I don't think. But that's what we're going to be working with here and dealing with here too. All right, so I do want to take a look at the forecast models, see what we're looking at here in terms of forecasting. So I really want to mainly look at the South Indian Ocean and the Australian region, because that's really where we're going to be seeing some of activity here. Now that we're making our way into November and eventually December, January generally is where we see the most activity occur, is generally here in January into February, March is where we see the most intense tropical cyclones in the South Indian and Australian region. I think was it in 2017? No, in March of 2018 when we saw Cyclone Marcus. It was a Category 5, hundreds and hundreds of miles. I was like way out here off Western Australia, where it had winds of 175 miles per hour. That is classified as a Category 5 system here on the United States hurricane wind scale. I can't even think of the name of it. Anyway, let's just look in the models. So I do want to talk about, so we possibly, that system down here could be a system that we have to watch out for. Now, it is not impacting any land. This over here is Mauritius and Reunion. Down over here, this is Madagascar. Over here is Ethiopia's up there, and I can't think of their name. Anyway, this system down here could be something we'll watch for, but it's probably not going to be anything severe. It appears that it begins to develop, there's 190, even 190 still relatively far out. There's 130. 130 hours is a little bit more reasonable. There's 100, there's less than 100. So you can kind of see it starts with an area of shower and thunderstorms in the next 60 hours or so. It starts off with a cluster of thunderstorms off here near, I can't think, Singapore, I think. I think that's Singapore. Let me just move this here. Alright. But mainly we're watching a system there in the Bay of Bengal, which could make its way over, as you can see, make its way over towards India. So another system. Now this system closer towards India, again, the biggest threats with these tropical systems that make landfall near southern India is going to be the heavy rain. The heavy rain and flooding is definitely going to produce the biggest life-threatening, flooding and storm surge and stuff like that. So that's going to be the biggest problem we're going to be dealing with here when these tropical systems do in fact make landfall or even ride the coast of the east coast of India. So let me just zoom into the Indian region. So as you can see, that's the system, 1,001 millibars, 1,000, 1,002. So just based on the wind speed, I'm saying this could be easily a 50 or 60 mile per hour tropical storm. And we could be seeing several inches of rain, I think. And that's in case this storm does in fact develop. We'll be closely monitoring this system in the developments of the system. We also have a system we want to talk about that is trying to get itself organized, but it's looked terrible. Well, that was like, when I looked at it like 8 hours ago, at like noon, so 7 hours ago. I'm like looking at that clock, I still need to set it back. 7 hours ago, when I looked at it around noontime. So right now we just have, still we got quite a bit that we still need to look at, watch carefully, just kind of watch, still. So yeah, I already forgot what I was talking about. But again, for that system, big flooding gonna be a huge concern. I'm gonna zoom in. I'm gonna go back a little bit here. This makes it so hard. How do I do this? Just sit down? I don't know. I have to figure out how to, just get a clicker, and I don't know. It's a whole thing. It's some people have told me you need to do this and you do this, and I never did it, and now I'm like, I need to do that, and now I have my shadow back there. Oh, it's so hard. Sucks. Okay. Let's go way back here. Beautiful. Perfect. Lower dynamics. Let's take a look at... So, significant wave height just shows you relatively how high those waves are going to be. So, now, green is when you start to get 6 feet, 7 feet. This should be in feet. This is in meters. That's a problem because 10... almost 30 feet right there. Feet. Okay, good. If it was meters, yeah, no. So I do want to note, show y'all that it does really develop here. You can kind of see those yellows, you know, maybe 9 to 10 foot waves. You can even see those yellows, maybe even reaching as high as 11.5 feet wave heights as it approaches the coast, the eastern coast, the southeast coast of India there. And we continue to see those waves finally begin to dip down about Sunday, November 21st, according to this one model. So again, that's closely going to have to be something clearly we're going to have to watch for here in the future. Now, if we go back and take a look at the South Indian Ocean, there's this system down here that I really want y'all to kind of recognize down here. And it, you know, it develops. And honestly, it could be something bad. So you can see it down there. Clearly, it really gets those high wave heights. Significantly high wave heights. At over 20, 25 foot wave heights all the way down here. So, again, this isn't going to be a system that we're going to have to be worried about in terms of a direct landfall. But if... That's not what I'm going to do. But if it's moving in this general direction, and let's say it moves here, it could produce squalls in the Mauritius and Reunion region, which are these two islands. I want to say Mauritius is this island, and Reunion is this island. Meteorological France is of Reunion, and Mauritius has its own meteorological department. It's its own independent country. So again, even if this, you know, gets close enough, it could produce 7-8 foot waves in Mauritius and Reunion area. All right, their average waves, they see 3 to 5 foot waves on average, I think, generally speaking. You know, they can see wave heights even higher than that, about up to 7 feet. But generally, it doesn't get any higher than that unless there's a tropical cyclone imminently making its way in that general direction. But from what we're seeing right here, this could be something we need to watch out for in the future, because it could be dealing with something that we'll have to closely monitor. But again, for the Australian region, it does not appear... Oops, that's Southern Australia. If we take a look at Australian region as a whole, let me just look at this from a height here. I don't think we're going to see anything now. I could be wrong. Yeah, I mean, the closest system is this system over here. It kind of gets close, but then I think there's a trough. Let me just zoom back out because I need to take a look and see what we're dealing with here. That's probably some type of a trough down here. Something. Let me take a look and see why this. So this kind of comes down here. It gets close. Generally close, 997 millibars. And then it falls apart. Now, I think the reason it's falling apart is cold front. Not cold front. Wind shear, cooler water. No. Wind shear and upper level winds. So in here you can clearly see this dips down to 968 millibars. I mean, that could be a Category 3 hurricane, cyclone, I should say, if that in fact does in fact happen to be true. Take a look at 10-meter winds. You can clearly see they're probably typhoon or cyclone, hurricane force winds in there. Here's 10, here's 60, here's 70, here's 80 knots. 85 to 90 knot winds are possible. So this could be possibly a pretty strong storm down here. Very hard to get. This is a very, very compact system there. There's 50, 60, 70. So it is generally hard to find exactly where those strongest winds are actually at. 70. I mean, I think this could have winds of over 100 knots, dealing 105, 110 miles per hour. If this, that would be if this does play out. But just based on this, that could be, you know, you already see it starting to weaken as it, you know, comes down through here. So it could be weakening. It might expand a little bit, and the wind field could expand. There's actually another island right here. Not sure what island that is. It does expand. Generally, when storms weaken, they can in fact expand. If they're over cooler waters, they can expand and become much more powerful. And powerful in terms of its size of a wind field, and it could make the rip currents pretty bad over Mauritius and Reunion, and even cause a little bit of storm surge, depending on how bad it actually gets. Really not a whole lot to talk about. I do want to go to Zoom Earth and sort of talk about what we're what we're looking at with that other tropical system there in the east. In the east, here. So as you can see, there is this area of rotation here. It looks like there's a little bit more convection in the northeastern quadrant. Let's put this in motion so we have an idea of what we're looking at. It looks like it could be getting sheared a little bit. It just does not look very healthy. It was looking much better earlier on. But right now, this is what we're looking at. The storm looks like it's getting sheared apart right now from upper level winds. You can clearly see those upper level winds moving through Barcelona here, Spain. It's literally just blowing south from the north to the south. And it's just cutting this off, not allowing any kind of convection to occur. And so I do not think this tropical system is going to become anything of significance anymore. At one point, they were saying 60 to 70 mile per hour winds. Now we're saying 25 to 30, maybe 35. But right now, it is a very poorly organized tropical system at this time. So I'm not going to be very, very worried about this system and needing to talk about it. I do want to take a look at some other regions of the world, including the South Atlantic, just in case any kind of interesting tropical activity does occur. I want to make sure I talk about it and get everything on track. So as you can kind of see, really nothing developing, and anything past even this is too far. 150 hours. I don't want to go past even 120 hours. But just in case anything does develop, we do want to make sure we talk about it. But as you can see, nothing is in fact expected to develop. Usually they develop off the coast of Rio de Janeiro, which is right in this region right here. They've been relatively powerful. They're really well developed tropical cyclones too. But right now we're not seeing that. Not seeing that at all in the future. I do want to take a look at the Mediterranean Sea. We are making our way into November and eventually pushing our way into December. And as you see, I don't see anything tropically expected to develop. You can see that we did have that system. It's coming down. I would expect it to dissipate and fall apart. Nothing expected really else to develop. I mean, we do have this, which, I mean, that's so far out. I don't think that's going to happen. Look, that's in November, almost December 2021. So at that time, I do think the water temperatures would be too cold, not allowing for anything really tropical to develop. We will give more updates on Invest 92B here in the future. I guess it's just take a look at satellite and see what we're dealing with here with Invest 92B. So let's take a look at that. So that's got winds about 15 or so miles per hour. I'm going to turn off storm tracks and just put this into motion. Lots of heavy rain over Malaysia. Lots of convection, it appears. Lots of convection. Lots of energy. Lots of upwelling, as you can see. Lots of convection with this tropical cyclone here. Off well to the south of Bangkok, Thailand. Very, very relatively, and lots of convection. I do notice there's quite a bit of convection there, which shows that this storm is in fact trying to intensify, and we could be dealing with an intensifying tropical system. Now, regardless of the development of the tropical cyclone right now at this point in time, the biggest threat to land right now will be heavy rain and flooding. Mudslides and landslides are possible to portions of Malaysia. Thailand is possible as this makes its way towards India, so this will be moving in this general direction, I think. So we could be dealing with heavy rain in portions of eastern India. Possibly, I would say Sri Lanka, maybe Tamil Nadu. These are the provinces or states or territories. I can't even pronounce most of these. I'm not going to try. I don't want to offend anybody. I want to say this is Tamil Nadu. It's the most pronounceable one, it looks like here. But as you can see, that's what we're looking at there for India right there. And that looks like to me, seems like that would be the most reasonable right in this region right here. We could be dealing with those heavy rains and flooding. But right now, the heaviest rain and flooding is going to be in the country of Malaysia, and possibly in portions of Thailand also. I'm going to go to weather.us, take a look at high definition satellite of this tropical system, and talk about and really just take a look at and see what we're dealing with here. With this system now, we would be in Asia and Australia, because this is in the Asian area. It's like right here, I think. Okay, that did not work. Right here. So this is the tropical system as you can see. We only have day and night. Okay. Take a look at the past 16 hours. Do the past 5 hours for starters, 6 hours. So again, I do want to sort of point out that there is quite a bit of convection, quite a lot of bit of energy down here, associated with an area of low pressure. I think these are 1,009 millibars. Hold on, I want to make sure I get that right. 1,009 millibars, okay. 1,009 millibars with this system. Heavy rain and flooding is possible again throughout Malaysia. Also, portions. We're also dealing with portions of maybe even Thailand is possible. Storm, you really have a lot of convection, and we could be dealing with a lot of flooding for sure with this tropical system. God, I'm tired. Hell. So there you go. You can kind of clearly see a lot of convection just blowing up there. I do want to put this, water vapor. So give us an idea of what we're looking at here with water vapor. So this is water vapor imagery, as you can see. So with very, very wet and very, very cold cloud tops. Dry and warm is basically dry air and usually warm, meaning it's at the lower levels of the atmosphere. Dry air. So cold and dry, very, very high levels of altitudes. Alright. Zoom in this region generally. So yeah, lots of convection in this entire area. Something I'm really, closely monitoring here. 10, 15, 10. So again, something we're looking at here, as you can see, these cloud top temperatures are incredibly cold. As you can see, about as low as negative 112 degrees below zero, or 112 below, or negative 112. So clearly you can see that there. Very, very cold, very, very cold cloud tops here. So let's just put this into motion to see what we're dealing with here. And so with this, convection is going to become a lot of heavy rain and certainly a lot of flooding. It's most certainly going to be possible with this tropical system. The development right now doesn't really matter. The biggest and most important factor when it comes down to this tropical system is going to be the flooding. Knowing your flood regions, knowing your flood zones, staying up to date with the Meteorological Organization of Malaysia. Let me actually bring that up and see what they're saying about this tropical system. Same in Thailand. They're all going to be talking about it because it's going to be probably affecting areas like Bangkok, the capital of Thailand. Very, very, very relatively broad and large system. Now, the reason these broad and large systems are generally, even more dangerous or even almost more deadly, really comes down because they're so much broader and they have a lot of convection and they can produce a huge, massive amount of rain and huge amounts of flooding across huge areas. All of, you got Malaysia, you have Bangkok, you have Thailand, and then just gonna make its way over to India, and it's gonna produce a lot of heavy rain and it's gonna be a big flood maker. So that's something we're going to be closely monitoring and closely watching here in the future, the development of this. So I'm going to go to the Meteorological Agency of Malaysia. I don't even know if they have one. Meteorological. That's the Meteorological Department, the Malaysian Meteorological Department, the MMD. Although I want to just see if there's anything in English. Am I able to understand anything? And the answer to that would be no. It's all in, I would say Malaysian, but I don't think that's the name of their language. It's in a completely different language. Oh, that was Indonesia. Anyway, so we're going to closely be monitoring this system. As you can clearly see here, lots of convection. As you can see right there, continuously convecting upward. Now it does appear that there is a little bit of storm wind shear here. It isn't just bubbling up in one direction. You can see a general wind shear almost in this direction, coming in from the east-southeast direction and moving west-northwest. So kind of blowing across the system. You can kind of see the convection and it gets blown over. And so that could be limiting this storm going through a deep convection, rapidly intensifying very, very quickly. It's being, kind of sheared off. And so that's kind of why we aren't really seeing this storm going through rapid intensification at the moment and developing and becoming a tropical depression or typhoon. Or tropical storm, excuse me. So right now, that's what we're looking at right now. Flooding and heavy rains are the biggest threat. I apologize again, everyone, for being late. My next update, I might do one, I don't know yet, I'm pretty flippin' tired. Might actually be at, next update would be at, the next update would be at 6 o'clock UTC, so that's like, I don't flippin' know, it's like, not 1 o'clock, it'd be like, maybe an hour later. Right, or no, it'd be an hour earlier, so it'd be like at 12 a.m. my time. It's like 4 hours. Anyway, talk to you guys later. With all that being said, no, it'd be in 5 hours, 6 hours. I don't freaking know. I'll talk to you guys later. I can't think right now. That's me for today, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace out.